Just really proud of the way our kids competed defensively. I thought we were very physical. Thought both teams were very good defensively and very physical in the game. Offensively, I thought didn't play as well in the first half. Obviously, Chase being in foul trouble probably hurt us in terms of some rhythm. Virginia Tech does a really good job of guarding. They're hard to beat and play against. They're just so fundamentally sound on both ends. But just love the way our guys kept playing. Hunter Tyson bounced back after a tough shooting first half to shoot great in the second half. Chase came off the bench in the second half and played very well, and that's not easy to do. I really was going to play him some and wanted to play him a little bit more in the end of the first half. My staff kind of talked me out of it because we had a lead for a while. But when you sit that long, it's not easy to play well, and he did. And PJ was opportunistic with some big baskets. And then I just thought our defense held up, and we did a much better job, didn't turn it over. Offensively, we were just not very good in the first half and played much better and got a very good hard-fought win. So
what do you feel like you did defensively to make it a tough shooting guy for Tech?
The first thing is it helps that Hunter Couture is not playing. I mean, he's an outstanding player and stretches the defense that way. And so it becomes a big body game. And Mutz is terrific. I mean, he can play all different kinds of ways, and he's playing point guard against Wake Forest some, and Basile can shoot the heck out of the ball and post it. We obviously recruited Lynn Kidd. We think Lynn's a really good player. It's just physical. There's not as much space. There's big bodies on top of you. You got to play really good one-on-one interior defense. I thought we did that. I'm anxious to watch the film in terms of defensive rebounding. We gave up a few of those that I'm disappointed in, but our first, initial defense was good. I thought we were set. We were in position. Maddox made some really good plays in the first half, but those aren't easy shots. I mean, he's making tough shots. And I just felt like we did a good job of guarding and being in position and contesting as much as we could.
Brad, the spark that Godfrey gave you on the bench.
Yeah.
Hit many threes.
No, I'm sure they were, shocked, and he's not a great 3-point shooter, but he can make one, and obviously made two. So, sometimes you need that in a game like this. And obviously he's wide open. And he's progressively been getting better. Like I actually started him against NC State, and he had 3 fouls in 5 minutes. He fouled 53 minutes and got put right back to the bench. So he's coming for us. We love his physicality, his athleticism. He actually can make some plays off the dribble. He can hook one in. He hooked one in tonight. And if he starts to make a shot like that, he becomes a very dangerous player. And so that's something we've worked really hard with him on. But that, you need that, right? In a game like this, on the road, you need somebody to come off the bench and play well. And those were big plays that ultimately, helped us win the game.
Anybody on Zoom have anything for Coach before we wrap it up?
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor. Back in the Penn State game, very similar situation at the end of regulation. You were up 3 and they hit the 3 with 5 seconds left to send it to overtime. But you're always going to rely on your defense, playing defense in those situations rather than fouling, aren't you?
No, not always. I kind of take it as it comes. We talked about fouling. We have fouled before. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. We didn't end up doing it this time, and Chase did a good job of contesting and pushing it out pretty deep.
Did you think on that one, Brad?
We did.
Oh, yeah. Did you think he was anticipating a foul?
I don't know.
And that
Maybe.
affected his shot?
I mean, my God, folks, the basketball guys needed to give us one after what happened to us last year in the tournament. So I think the basketball guys even that one out.
Coach, the Hokies went on a 9-0 run there, and then Godfrey fouls out, forcing you to bring PJ in with 4 fouls with a little under 6 minutes left. He hits the big turnaround jumper with 4 minutes left to put you up 1. But how much trust do you have in him, in his maturity to be able to play down the stretch with 4 fouls?
Yeah, I mean, at 6 minutes to go, you gotta try to go, right? I mean, there's not a lot of time left. he's got to make some plays for us to win. I mean, that, he's a outstanding player and yeah, he could foul out, but at the same time, it's, you got to play him with that much time. You got to let him go and see what happens. And obviously if he's out there, we're trying to get him the ball when we can. I think we got it to him a couple times. I was mad at him on the 3 he took late. He could have rolled to the basket, I think, and got one going to the rim, but the shot he made was a big time shot. And he had another one in the middle of the lane that he missed. That's basketball. We gotta make sure we play with him and through him when he's out there in situations like that.
Hey, Brad, it's Davis from the Clemson Insider. I know every game is important, but this week you look up, you got a pair of quad one opportunities on the road tonight and then at Pitt on Saturday. Did you guys talk about just sort of how big this week might be for you guys in terms of trying to start building a resume?
No, we really didn't. Guys know. I mean, we have a lot of respect for Virginia Tech, right? And how they play, how they coach, how those guys handle themselves. So we knew this was going to be, it's a tough environment. We just try to prepare for the game, right? And just be as prepared for this game as we could, try to play well and be tough enough and tough-minded enough to get a win. We're going to get back late, probably 3 a.m. by the time we get back to Clemson and we'll lick our wounds and staff will get in there early and start watching film and get set on Pitt and we'll tackle the next one. But we're not, I don't even know the date. It's early January, so we're not really talking about all those kinds of things yet. We're just trying to continue to get better, play good basketball, and figure out how to win some tough games. And that's what we did today.
Probably have time for one more if anybody has one.
And Brad, do you have any update on Alex at this point and when he might be available?
No, I don't. He did a couple things this week. We hoped it would kind of be a little better than the results, from, what he's doing with the trainers and the doctors and staff. And so we're pretty much knew right away that he's not going to play, against Virginia Tech. I would say he's probably unlikely for Pitt. And beyond that, I still don't know. It all, obviously these guys, they do things to test it, right? And if it goes well, then you go to the next stage. And if it doesn't, you stay where you're at. And he didn't really move to the next stage. So.
Brad, can I
Coach,
sneak in one if you don't mind?
Go ahead.
It's Matt.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about having just so many guys, it seems like this year, to win. You need to go get a bucket or it's a critical player or whatever. Just having different options with Chase, with PJ, with Hunter, just guys that have made those big shots and continue to make big shots.
Well, I think having those 3 older players and Brevin Galloway, we have 4 guys that have played in the big environment that have, it got loud in here tonight and our guys were fine. Like they're playing the game. And, I think sometimes that's a big factor in your team is, does your team still have confidence? Do individual players have confidence to make plays? In some years you're better at that. You have more guys that you think are ready than others. And, those 4 guys for us are proven players, good players. They've all had big games. They've all made big shots. And that helps. Right. And so if it's not going well, eventually it could go well, so I think, having 4 guys like that, and I talked about it in the locker room today, that I thought those 4 guys kept us, pretty calm because I didn't think we played very well at times, especially in the first half.
Okay.